So, the Triumph Speedmaster. What a glorious, glorious bike this is. So that might give you a hint as to this review, as to whether it's going to be a positive or a negative review. This is a positive review on the Triumph Speedmaster, and I'm going to show you why by talking a bit about it first, pointing out one or two faults as well. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good, and then we'll take it out on the road as well, and we'll see how things go. Cool. Let's go and let's get started. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. As promised, we're going to have a little wander around the bike, have a little look at what it's got, its features, etc. Let's start off the front, and down here we have got dual disc. I think they're 320s. Anyhow, they're dual disc Brembos, and I think they're 320s, and I think it's 270 at the back, single. Really good stopping power for a bike that's pretty heavy. It's 260 kilograms or so. It's pretty punchy in terms of weight. Tires, excellent. These are stock. They look barely used. It's done, I don't know, 3,500 miles at a guess. You know, they're in great condition. I don't rag it too hard, mind you, but yeah, they're in brilliant condition, and seem to be holding up really well. Shocks, dual at the front, single at the back. Let's talk shocks for a second. This one is single. You can access it under the seat, like so. There we go. Okay. Single shock here. It is it's adjustable here, so you can adjust this using your tools, and they provide you with some tools underneath. You can get aftermarket ones, of course, as well, but it's pretty decent. The only time I've bottomed out on it was with somebody, a pillion sitting on the back here, and if I sit on the back here, you'll see, you know, it's pretty good. It's pretty stiff, but you can change it. Since we're on it, seats. You have three options. You have a, in you go, good boy, in you go, lovely. 3 options of seat. This non-standard brown quilted one, which is quite comfortable, but it's more of a looker, perhaps. Especially if you go with sort of brown bits as well to go with the brown. You get a stock, pretty decent but black squishy number, and then there's a in the touring package where you get the screen and backrests and all sorts. You get a long range, really squishy black one, which is good actually, but I didn't get because my legs are quite long anyway, and I found that the touring seat pushed my knees so far forward up here that the handlebars got in the way. So if you've got long legs, then might not be worth, well, test it basically. If you've got long legs, it's a thing. Some of the questions I've been asked just recently was on the light. Someone in America said that you couldn't do this. And I just wanted to point out that you can, and the configuration I'm 90% sure doesn't change to America, but with the switch up, okay, here you've got green here, switches up on the handlebar here. That's your daytime running light. Okay, it's got these three little bubbles, okay, which means that you get this lit up all the time, daytime running. Okay, you have your trigger under the handlebar here, there, okay, and if you press it, okay, it just flashes on and off. Okay, so you can wink, you can flash. Okay, you just press, let go, press, let go, press, let go. Nothing happens. Okay, this is where some people are getting confused. If you turn it onto nighttime running full beam, so switch goes down, you get the 5 straight lines. So bong, green light goes off. Confusing, but let's go with that. Green light goes off. You now get the whole light lit up, whole top half, and if you press the button, okay, it will stay full beam. It won't flash on and off without you pressing it again. Okay, so you can't flash it when you're on nighttime riding. Okay, if you press it, it will hold full beam. You have to press it again to take off full beam. Okay, and if you press it full beam, you get this blue light here that lights up. Okay, so you can see when you're riding. So that you can flash. Okay, if you full beam it like that, then if you press the trigger, it holds. Okay, so that's that little question sorted. What have other people asked? That's a quad lock phone holder. People have asked before. It just goes on like that. It's great. Sat nav, yay! Hasn't fallen off yet, and yeah. Fingers crossed, eh? Moving around the bike, twin pipes, gorgeous sound. We'll light it up in a second so you can hear it. Oh, saddlebags. Okay, another problem that some people have been talking about and asking me about and saying, oh, this is a bit dodgy. If you've got a pillion rider, okay, some people find that when they go into pillion, okay, shall I pretend I'm a pillion? I'll sit behind. I haven't got the seat on, but there we go. Some people are finding that when they've got their legs up on the pillion things, the bags, saddle bags, are bashing into the back of their legs. Especially if you've got shorter legs, that's a thing. Mine go so far forwards that they then come straight down onto the pillion thing. So, but if you've got shorter legs, you'd be coming at more of an angle. Okay, so you would get more bag pushing into them. These bags here, they're held by this strap here, but they don't actually move much. But if you had them right forward there, that would definitely push in, but you can't push them back all the way to the edge here and just have the strap holding it. And it doesn't actually touch me, but I could see how it might for some people. What some people have done to combat that, if they've got these bags, is they swap the bag sides. So if you turn it around and put it the other side, you then get the smaller part at the front. Go away, wasp. If you come in my helmet, I'll be so upset. Go away. I'm warning you, don't. So they put the smaller end at the front like that. It's still secure because you can put the strap round and tie it in, but it means that you've got the smaller end rather than the bigger end at the front. See, this side you'd have it like that, so it'd be more hitting in your leg up here, less hitting in your leg. So that's what some people have done. So if you've got that as a problem, and you do regularly carry a pillion with these bags, that is one way to fix it. Or grow longer legs, that's the other option. Okay, single disc at the back. The biggest problem I've had with this bike is when my rear brake did come off. This bolt here came out completely. Don't know why. It's been fine since, and it was all, put back together again by the lovely people at Triumph. But yeah, when this came off randomly, that was a bit of a shock, and dragged along the floor and stuff. Yeah, it's a bit scarred underneath. That's in a video or something. I'll try and link it here, top right. Seat configurations. Obviously, I've got it bobber at the back. I've removed my back seat. I have got back thing. You can see that as well if I link the 4 accessories video. I think it is. I'll put that in up here somewhere. Handlebars. If you want a more bobber look, someone was saying that they liked the bobber but wanted the ability to have a pillion. So what you can do is you can strip it down and make it look like a bobber, remove the back seat when you don't want it, and get straight bars. So if you can then get straight bars, you'd be leaning forwards much more with straight bars here rather than sitting upright with beach bars. So that is one option for you. You can get 8 hangers as well. That's another option. Buttons then. I scrolls through your stuff on here. So we've done 4,000 miles. So there you go. Those tyres have done 4,000 miles, which is pretty amazing. MPG, we're doing 60.5 average, which is again pretty amazing. This is, remember, a 1200cc engine. Fuel gauge time. Is it really that time? I thought I was hungry. Anyhow, I usually keep it on the fuel gauge because it's only a 12 litre tank and it doesn't hold much. You can do 130, 150 miles, but that's probably about it, to be honest. That is cruise control, and I will put in a clip now about cruise control in a second. Right, this bike has cruise control. It's here, this button here, down here to the left, that one there. Press that once, that symbol comes up next to 2, which says that it's ready to be pressed again. It's kind of engaged itself, and then you press it again and nothing happens, because you have to be doing 30 and in 3rd gear. Indicator, left, right, cancel, horn. I have changed the horn. Woo, quite loud. I've changed it to a mini sound bomb rather than the standard one, which is that really flat sort of really one. This is a bit more honky. Up here, obviously, cut out and start. You don't start it by turning the key. It's not like a car. You do it on the red button here. Hazard lights down here, and your mode selector here. And we'll talk about mode select in a second. Let's start it up so you can hear this going. So this is what this puppy sounds like. You have to start it in neutral. It won't start in anything else. Neutral up here. If you're in first and the stand goes down, engine will cut out as well. So one to talk about. Right, so this is what it sounds like. So this is what it sounds like. Nice and throbby. I suppose there's not many people around. It's not going to be too antisocial if we actually go full throttle here. This is going to be quite loud, so careful. Yeah. These are stock pipes, by the way. Stock pipes. No decat, nothing. That is stock sound. It is mental. There was one other thing I was going to mention, and that is the lean angle of this bike. These little puppies here, okay, these are your scraping pegs. That's why they flip up in case you corner. In case you corner too sharply, that's why they flick up. And you have these runners on the bottom of them. A lot of people do mention the fact that it's you can't lean far over on this bike. I've hit them twice. Once that side, once this side. Once this side I did this morning. It is a bit scary, and I'll put the clip here now, but I've only done it twice in 2 years, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. A little positive step would be to whoa. Whoa. So we'll actually shove that bit in the review, I think, because that is something that people talk about. Right, the road test part of this. First thing, we're going to do some slow maneuvering here. So easiest thing to do, pop it into rain mode here. Use this M button, click, rain road, okay, which you select with the clutch, okay, select with the clutch, so you have to pull it into select, and that takes a lot of the bite out of the throttle, and you can do slow maneuvering so much more easily. Ooh, don't hit my head. Duck or grouse wasn't the old thing. So yeah, I've got no clutch here. doing no feathering of the clutch, nothing, just rear brake and a bit of throttle. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. So yeah, if you're doing lots of town riding, or maybe you're not very good with your throttle control, then put it onto rain mode, and it's so much easier. Because I'm in rain mode, it actually takes some of the sound out of the throttle as well, which is one of the things that you should be aware of. Just a little bit, not much, it just takes a little bit out. Takes some of the acceleration out, takes some of the initial bite out. It's just good for in-town riding, and in the rain riding as well, obviously. The next stop, I'll do a rear brake only stop, so you can see what it's got, and then when we're out on the roads, I'll do a front brake. Okay, so this is all on the back brake, clutch in so I don't stall. But you know, and that's not even pressing it hard. It's more useful than some rear brakes. For a big bike, it's pretty nimble. I mean, I'm really not having to do a lot in order to, I mean, that's nothing. It's remarkably, well, it's very low to the ground for a start. So if you're small, this is a good bike for you, and you want a cruiser, this is a really good bike for you, because it's low to the ground. If you've got little legs, there's no problem at all. It's really solidly built. It's a really stable bike. Gear changes are pretty smooth. I think I recorded a bit on gear changes earlier. I'll shove it in here. The gear changes are really smooth on this bike. One of the first things you'll notice when you take this bike out or own this bike is the solidness of the gears. So it's a really sort of very reassuring click as you especially when you move down the gears, but when you move up as well. So that was into third. Don't know if you heard that, but it's very audible to the rider, which is great. I wouldn't normally change gear quite this much. I'm just sort of trying to give you a feel for what it's like. I mentioned that I do some front brake test as well. So we had a look at the rear brake just now. Right, front brake then. So let's just put on the front brake. Pretty good. The screens that you can get for this, the touring screen, is pretty useless. I had to put an additional top to my touring screen because it just hit me, and all the wind turbulence just hit me in the head. So what are we doing? We're doing what, 60 miles an hour, 84 miles per gallon, 80 miles per gallon, 79 miles per gallon. You know, it's so frugal, this engine, especially for a 1200. It's a really impressive engine. We'll go round the roundabout and come back down this road. I'll try and hit the limit on the first couple of gears. Okay, so first gear, hits the limit there at 54. Second gear, 75. Often I wouldn't usually do the first gear that high. I'd usually change first at 45 maybe. If I was accelerating hard, then I'd probably stop at 45. Second gear all the way up to 70, and then 3, 4, 5 and 6 are just for fuel saving, basically. Whoa! I don't know whether you heard that through the microphone. The wind hit off that lorry was insane. Love the gears, they're so smooth, they're clunky and smooth. I don't know if that makes sense, that they can be both clunky and smooth, but oh, got that bit wrong. Yeah, so I usually change at 40 into second. What a noise. And lift off. Woohoo! It's just so rumbulous. It's more of a purr than a growl. It's just a really big purr. This is a review after all. So what are our thoughts? It's got double discs at the front and it brakes well. It's got a single disc at the back and the rear brake holds its own. The light is multifunctional. The green light is irritating that it goes off when you turn it. Anyhow, it's a thing. Fuel tank, 12 litres only. You're getting 130, 150 miles. Be aware that that's what you're going to get touring. Wing mirrors, love them. I was going to get the teardrop ones at one point, but I really love the round ones. The gears, fantastic. Second gear is just Thor's cat, as we've discussed. Maneuverability, fantastic. Coming up behind this car, just duck out, duck in. I mean, it's so little effort to do that. Turning circle isn't actually great, but acceleration, ballsy. I would describe that as ballsy. The noise, glorious. And after all, who doesn't buy a cruiser that doesn't want a little bit of noise? Comfort could be better. Whoa. Seats okay, could be better. The most popular aftermarket seat is made by Corbin. They're really expensive, just to warn you. Should you get one? Yeah. Never look at it again. Think about it. Buy. If you had the money and you were so inclined, buy. This is probably the best Bonneville that Triumph have ever made. In black, it's beautiful. You can get it in black and white coach lines. The new 2021-22 model in red is a gorgeous kind of cherry red. I'm sure they call it something else, but it's a really beautiful red. Quite tempted, but not. I've already got a nice black one. Thank you very much. Get one. Go and test ride one. If you can ride a motorbike, just for shits and giggles, test ride this bike.